So I got to Monterey. I did these boat trips, a couple boat trips. I thought it was a lot of fun. I started talking to local people. I'm like, how do you get to see a Laysan albatross? And I've seen these black-footed albatrosses. They said, do a winter trip. But nobody does winter trips. There's nothing out there in the winter. Well, I'm going to do a winter trip. So I set up a winter trip, a February trip. I believe it was 1978 on the Star of Monterey, which was a new boat in Monterey at that time, with David Lemon, Big D. So we're going to go out there in February. I have all these bird watchers in 1978 to come up from LA to go on this boat with me. And I'm advertising that we're going to go way out there. And we're going to try to get a Laysan albatross. Now, in those days, you have to understand, it was not easy to see a Laysan albatross. Why? Because the Laysans breed on the leeward chain of the Hawaiian Islands, Midway and stuff. And basically, they shoot towards the Aleutian Islands for feeding, whereas the Blackfoots come to us in Monterey. Now we see Laysans more often, but that's because around 1985, Laysan albatrosses began nesting on islands off of Mexico. But in 1978, we didn't have those Mexican Laysan albatrosses. So we go offshore. We're looking, I don't remember the beginning of the day. There wasn't much to it. These hardcore birders. And David and I, we spot these blows. And they're going like this, angling forward. Oh, wow. I don't know anything about whales still, but I bought this NOAA publication 444, which has black and white photos of all these dead whales. That's how I learned whales. And according to that thing, if the blow is going like this forward, that's going to be a sperm whale. But I've never seen a sperm whale. Gotta see a sperm whale. You gotta have that. And David was into it as much as I was. So we spot these things. We're thinking they gotta be sperm whales. He's like, you want to go for them? Yeah, go for them. And of course, they dive. Well, if they're sperm whales, they dove, and it's going to be a long wait. So I'm thinking, this is going to be dicey. The bird watchers are not going to like this. So I stop the boat, and I tell them, we're going to wait for these sperm whales to come up. And it's quiet on the boat. Very quiet. So there's this young lady on board. She is not a bird watcher. She's the girlfriend of a bird watcher. So everyone starts breaking out their lunches. The gulls that have been following us all day, chumming behind the boat, they sit down on the water. And this young lady says, but there's a funny looking gull back there. Laysan albatross was sitting on the water behind the boat. Everyone absolutely went berserk. And I said, I know you guys are probably all cursing me under your breath because I stopped to wait for these whales. So let's see the show of hands. How many people is this a life bird for? And virtually everyone on the whole boat. That was a Laysan albatross. Just like that, while we were watching for sperm whales. So it's that combination of, it's the idea, then it began to sink into me that, man, you better be looking at everything. You better be looking for everything, because one thing leads to another. And it just always seems to work that way. And then there's one other story. So I thought, I asked, how do you see a Laysan albatross? Go on a winter trip. Did a winter trip. So I thought, well, every winter trip is going to be like that. Nope, nada. It didn't work that way. But I did have another idea. I was like, my most wanted bird for a long, long time was a tropic bird. How I get to see a tropic bird? You gotta go out in the summertime. July. Nobody goes out in the summertime. Nobody does that. It's no good time of year. Well, I'm gonna go out. And you gotta go way offshore. Well, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go out, and I'm gonna go to the guide seamount on this little boat called the Silver Prince. A little tiny thing owned by some guy at the Navy school. So we get on the boat. Ron Branson was with me. And we go out. We left in the dark because it's a long drive out to the guide seamount. Very long drive from Monterey. We get way out there in the middle of nowhere. We're chumming. Captain has to take a leak. So he's going down to the head. And as the boat is stopped, hovering over the boat is a red-billed tropic bird. Just like that. I thought, okay, you do a summer trip, you get to see a red-billed tropic bird. It's going to happen every summer. Nope. So in the beginning, I have this article that I wrote. It's called I Thought It Was Magic. I thought it was magic. I thought you just do it, the birds will be there. It'll happen. But, then we had an albacore trip one time. We started doing these albacore trips. We're catching albacore. That's a heck of a lot of fun. Oh my God. Fish on! There is nothing like yelling fish on. I love it. And so we're catching these albacore, having lots of fun. Sorry, you're jumping everywhere. The Arctic terns are trying to feed on the little bait fish that the sorry you're chasing. The Jaegers are coming down on top of the terns. You got the whole ecosystem is laid out right there in front of you. Because then underneath, you've got all the animals that are trying to eat the sorry in addition to the albacore. So you got the fish, you got the birds, you got, probably sea lions, all kinds of, other things. And so, it's one of those typical foggy, overcast days, and we're out there now. Now my list is I want to see list is really ratcheting up, and I want to see a red-tailed tropic bird, not a red-billed tropic bird. Red-tailed tropic bird. All the red-tailed tropic bird sightings for California are 200 or more miles offshore. Well, we're not going to make it 200 miles in one day. No, not even close. And there's only like 2 or 3 records on top of that. So we're out there on this albacore trip, and it's overcast day, real foggy and all. And when you're bird watching out there on the ocean, you're looking like this, or you're looking, over the top of the water. And in the fog, we get a fallout in the fall season of a lot of warblers that get lost and stuff like that. So we had this warbler come in behind the boat, and we're all like looking up. And into our field of view flies the red-tailed tropic bird. If we hadn't looked up, we would have never seen it. It's a lot of serendipity out there, that's all I can say.